Welcome to the latest Motley Fool Scoreboard. I'm on Unchalkable, and we've got longtime fools, Dan Kaplinger and Rick Menares, giving a 1 to 10 rating to a top 200 stock in the primary hidden gems database. It's Axon, ticker symbol AXON. Rate the strength of Axon's business first, including factors like industry and competition. 10's invincible, 1's hopeless. Both of you have 8s, Rick.
Yeah, so taser stun guns, Axon wearable body cameras, drones, license plate readers, the evidence.com platform that stores all the growing data files. Axon is there to provide less than lethal resolutions to confrontations and recording things so everyone can see both sides to every conflict story. This business is at its best when people are at their worst, and that can be a good portfolio hedge for an eternal optimist like me. 8.
Yeah, I agree with the 8, Rick. I think that you add to all of that, Axon has been really working on research and development to expand the scope of his business. It's embraced artificial intelligence. It's adding a whole bunch of AI-powered features to its software package, its whole ecosystem. It checks all the boxes as far as the judicial process is concerned right now.
Yeah, when we talk AI and like how it benefits established companies, it's pretty clear with Axon how it can help. For management, a 10 is Warren Buffett, a 1 is Homer Simpson. Dan's at a 7, Rick, you're at a 9.
Yeah, so co-founder or CEO Rick Smith, he's been running the show since 1993. That's 33 years. He started the company with his brother, fresh after earning his MBA. Sometimes a visionary can get it right the first time. Smith has collected 53 U.S. patents. He has a reasonable but not outstanding 76% employee approval rating on Glassdoor. But the most impressive feat is that Axon has been a 770 bagger since Smith took the company public 25 years ago. I went with a 9.
So, no argument with any of those positive points for Rick Smith, but I do ding him a couple of points because of the Elon Musk-like compensation package that he has gotten. It's tied to a whole bunch of factors that admittedly, I mean, it wasn't a given that Axon was going to be able to overcome them, but overcome them they did. And Smith has had a good payday as a result of that. But no debate against the performance that Smith has had leading Axon upward.
Financials, a 10 is a fortress, a 1 is yikes. Dan's at a 7, Rick, you're at an 8.
Yeah, so Axon has topped 30% revenue growth in each of the last 4 years. It has generated at least 19% top-line growth in each of the last 14 years. Axon is like a potato. It has eyes everywhere, and they're all moneymakers in this rainy day ecosystem. It has more than double the long-term debt as cash on its balance sheet. It also has its net margin contract to the single digits last year, but it was back up above 20% for its latest quarter. I went with an 8.
Yeah, I went with a 7. I think that the finances are in generally good shape. I'm looking forward a little bit more. All of this investment in artificial intelligence, just like every other company that is making big tech investments these days, the question going forward is whether research and development spending is going to be on the increase, to what extent it eats into profitability going forward, and then whether Axon can use AI to fend off potential competition from disruptors who will be kind of starting from scratch, but potentially using that AI in a more AI native manner to catch up and potentially surpass the company. That, I think, is the risk. I don't think that it's a big risk right now, but it is something that might cause some financial strain as Axon decides how much in capital expenditures it needs to put towards building out new technology.
All right, Dan, let's talk valuation. How well will Axon stock do over the next 5 years? How safe is it? 10's a sure thing, 1's a lottery ticket.
Yeah, I went with the kind of market perform, 5 to 10% with a safety score of 6. I think that we have seen the hyper-growth phase of Axon Enterprise's business is over. I think that we will see continued growth going forward, but it's a much more mature business at this point. In addition, valuation, for a while the valuation was kind of really up there. We've seen basically about a 50% drop from highs over the past, year and a half, something like that. And so I think that puts it in a better position to generate good returns going forward. I'm just not expecting any kind of moonshot from here that mimics, that 700X that Rick was talking about top of the show.
Yeah, I'm with Dan here, 5 to 10% 5-year returns. As an Axon shareholder, I'm hoping it'll be higher than 5 to 10%, but the valuation concern is legit. Even after losing roughly half its value from last summer's all-time high, Axon is trading for 12 times trailing revenue and more than 170 times trailing earnings. You're never going to get Axon at a discount, and the upside is there, historically speaking. It's just not going to win the valuation argument in the present. As Mr. Miyagi says, axe on, axe off. For safety, I went with a 7. I know I shouldn't give a stock with a rich valuation like this, such a bouncing safety net, but Axon wins in good times and bad. There's a doomsday scenario where budgets are so lean that cities and states can no longer pay for the Axon services or to turn to cheaper alternatives, but that hasn't happened yet.
Thank you to both Rick and to Dan. They've given Axon a solid overall score of 7.1 out of 10 with no top-hits. Look out for a new scoreboard every market day at 7 p.m. Eastern. Next up is Kava. Till then, Fool on.